Hello everyone. This is another presentation. I hope that for young researchers, young teachers, it will be very important, especially in developing countries where research activities are not so great. So many young researchers, I noticed that they don't get enough scopes or learning. So this slide is part one. I am from University of Dhaka. Currently, I'm working at Osaka University. So basically, in this part, research method, the basic within a few slides, I'll try to mention. In future uh, videos, you will find a bit more on other topics. So research is a systematic work, so you just can't get anything quickly, easily. Understanding the nature of the problem is very important. Uh, mm, and you need to review literature to understand how others have approached or deal the problem. So if you want to solve any problem, you must know what are the existing solutions, so that based on their solutions and their limitations or constraints, you can plan for a new guideline and do something from the existing works. So based on that, a strong review, a literature review from the top journals, top conference papers, or related original books, you can get the information. After that, you try to propose or develop or do some new experiments in some cases, or sometimes to collect data in an organized and controlled manner, so that after some work you can uh, arrive at valid decisions. So whatever results you got, you have to analyze in depth. I'll discuss a little bit more on those issues. And finally, you draw conclusions. And in the conclusions or in the discussions or analysis, you have to uh, make generalizations of the findings and results. By generalization, I mean where, why, and how it fits or works. Where it fails, why it fails, how it fails. You need to find, based on this, some constraints and limitations of your work. And you must write these kind of things. Don't write too much, otherwise reviewers will find it not good sometimes. So, but anyway, you have to write smartly so that if a reader reads your paper and find some genuine constraints or limitations, based on this he or she can find a new direction for research. So this is very important. And when we do research, we need to try uh, on diverse and extensive data sets or samples, not a small data, a small sample. You need to check what about the other researchers on the similar field, what is the limit of the data set, what is the pattern now. So based on this we have to decide. For example, if you think about 10 years before video based human activity recognition, we had only 10 classes, 10 different kinds of actions by 10 or 20 people. That was good, okay. But now it is not possible in video based human activity recognition, because most of the data sets in the last 5-7 years are based on YouTube genuine human activities, and millions of videos are used for those data sets. So I mean, that is very important. Then finally, based on your limitations or constraints, you try to find genuine future research. Regarding research, I mean, after formulating a algorithm or methods or strategies or pipeline, you need to do experiment. You need data. But the point is that in some cases, we can produce data or collect data for our experiments from real life samples. But in some cases, we cannot get enough real life data. That definitely we need to go for simulated data or artificial data if real data is difficult. But we must do our research on extensive and diverse ranges of data. I mean, for example, if you look at the human face recognition, we know that face recognition is very easy, even mobile phone can do that. So, and if you are a Facebook user, definitely, I think so. On that case, you know that how easy it is nowadays. But what about, I mean, diverse background? Can we do face recognition easily? So that is the main point. And what about the accuracy? Like, can we go for 100% accurate face recognition methods? If we go for 100% accuracy, then you need to think, can we do it faster or real time, or without using much more, I mean, computation processing and so on. So always there are scopes. Then simulated data. So I'll give you some examples. For example, gait recognition. Gait means like walking pattern of human being. So if you are not familiar, I just tell you that by the walking pattern from the video, we can recognize who the person is. It's a kind of biometric, just like fingerprint and others. But of course, accuracy is not that good, but still, it's okay. So now for gait recognition, we need thousands of data. For example, in Osaka University in our lab, we have data set more than 70,000 people's data are collected from different cameras. So we have now one of the challenges of data recognition, data analysis is occlusion. If partial body is occluded by something else. So do we have occluded data from many people? No, because it's very difficult to get. So far, nothing. So that's why one example this is done, that you can create artificial data, no large scale gate data set with occlusion, so make it. So for example, you can take 10,000 subjects data, and then you artificially put some kind of bar by which 30%, 40%, and 50% degrees of occlusion, and in different way, like horizontally or vertically or randomly, so that you can create different kinds of patterns and like this. So if you look at this slide, I mean, of course, this gray, it means actually black, but for visualization, we put it gray. So you can say half of this is not visible. So you can say that I am walking across a bar or pillar, so some parts of the bodies are missing. And this is another pattern, and so on. So if you see that there are different likes, like bottom side or static top sides are not visible, left side or right side, and so on, and random. So through this way, if you do not have any data or no difficult or challenging, and you go for artificially data creation. So next point is presenting the data. Present and analyze and discuss. Most of the papers from young researchers we found, yeah, I mean, or at least I noticed more than 1,000 cases in the last decade, for example, that they just present what the results are. Like if the graph is this, or if the table is this, I mentioned that, okay, we got this, we get this is the result, this is the findings, finish. But they do not analyze, why did you get this result? Is it valid? Is it reasonable? If yes, why? How? If not, why? How? These are very important. And do you compare with state of the art other methods? Yes, I understand that if you go for state of the art, like top methods in the world, definitely your work should be for a longer period and extensive and good quality. Sometimes it's not possible in undergraduate and master's level or in developing countries. So what to do? At least you go for some kind of discussions, mention and some kind of analytical way, so that you can give some kind of new findings, new ideas, new solutions, or new thinking, new knowledge. So this is very important. So analysis is important, and discussions part is very, very important. So you need to analyze, explain, interpret the results. You need to discuss and try to generalize where it fails, how it fails, and why it fails, and vice versa. And through this way, you can find the good points and bad points, and based on this, you can mention one or two genuine future scopes. Like, don't say that in future we will do it. This is a political statement. Political leaders will always say we will do this, that, but no genuine guidelines for that. Okay, so based on your research, based on your reality, you show genuine future scopes. And then finally, you conclude the paper. Conclude properly. Do not just repeat the abstract, what you have written, okay, or something like that. Finally, write down the research report. We can write in different way, like thesis, book format, journal or transactions or manuscripts paper, conference or workshop proceedings, and in some cases 2 pages extended abstract. In some area just abstracts are okay with proper citation or bibliography. For example, I'm working on computer vision, pattern recognition, imaging area. In that domain, abstract or abstract extended abstracts are, I mean, almost invalid. I mean, is CVPR, is CCP, I mean, top rated conferences, or those minimum page lengths are 10 pages or 8 pages, a single column, not double column. So, like that. So, that's why it varies. But based on your field, you can decide where you. And usually people write in many cases by MS Word, but it is, I mean, not good. Try to write in LaTeX, by which you can make an extend format. And different journals and conferences, including IEEE, SCM, and others, they have LaTeX templates. So that is much easier. And if you want to learn, then just Google, install these, and go for an editor. And then you just enjoy how good it is. So I'd like to recap the basic steps of research. Problem identification. This is the most important point in our life. When we are in trouble, in families, when we are in trouble, we do not find the exact problem. And then we remain in the problem because we don't have any solutions, even if we try differently. So this is very important. And reviewing information, whatever you found, rethink, reevaluate, and then propose something. I mean, do experiments, data collection, and so on. Finally, analysis is important. I mentioned in details about the analysis part, and draw the conclusions and generalizations. Thanks a lot. I hope that we will work harder, maybe the hardest, so that we can develop the world and to develop us. If we are developed, then basically we are contributing to the community. And these are from different material sources. I cannot recall from what and how, and advices from different researchers. And in future lectures, I'll try to cover literature review, paper writing problems, how to solve, because this is very important. Sometimes you have something like you cooked something and you serve the food, but it is not properly served. So that's why it's a problem. Okay, many restaurants, they serve ordinary food, but serving is excellent. They charge 3-4 times money. You know that. So similarly, you writing, paper writing is very important. I'll try to mention those. How to review a paper. This is also important, especially for senior researchers, so that we can help and volunteer the conference and journals to develop. And how to select reasonable journals or conferences from the crap journals around. So these are the now few points I hope I'll try to cover during this break. Thank you so much.